la la yidi la yidi dum da da. Now there's a little part in this second section. You know, there's two sections to the melody, and we're on the high one. There's a little part at the end. I just want to show you. Dee da la 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 dee da 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 dum da da dee da 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 dum dee da 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 dum dee da da da. Oh, okay. So let's try that with me. Dee da la la la. Oh, dee da 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 dum. Oh, and if you have your tush on your seat, you can you go da dum. Just a little lift, okay. Dee da la la la. Oh, dee da 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 da. Oh, dee da da dee da da dee dum. Oh, how's it start? Da, da, in a little while. Da, 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 da. It's better to add it later. I lie, da, 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 da. Oh, da, 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 da. Da, 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 ho. Da, 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 ba, da, da. Da, 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 da. Oh, did I lie? Da did da da did I lie? Da da da. Oh, did I lie? I da 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 dee la dee la la la. Oh, dee la 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 la. Oh, dee la 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 la. Oh, dee la dee da da dee dum. Oh, amazing! Sounds really beautiful. By the way, with these melodies are called nigunim. Right, many of you know this kind of thing already, but a nigun is a wordless melody, and it's meant to say something that we can't say with words, right? Just to say something that our kishkas, our guts, are some prayer that comes out of our hearts or out of our guts that we can't say with the words. The words are nice. But ultimately, and you see in the Siddur, there's lots of words, but sometimes we just have to let it go, right? And just sing pure melody, and that's the old standing Jewish tradition. Okay, so I know many of you have been doing this for longer than I've been alive, but so I don't have to tell you the tradition, but I'm just saying, with that, it's meant to it's not like baby talk, although it's also baby talk. Ay 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 ba ba bum ba bum ay ba boy, oy ba boy, tidiyachna. Those are all the sounds you might get in a niggin. But it's meant to bring out the joy, but also the sadness in various ways that only a melody can. So how's it start? And by the way, any time that I start talking, I'm trying to get you to forget the melody. That's beautiful. Oh, Bam 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 ba da da dee 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 la la da da dee 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 da da no. Oh dee dee la 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 la. Oh dee 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 da da dee da da. Dee dam ba da dee da da dee dam. Oh dee dee la 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 la. Oh dee 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 da da dee da da. Dee dam bam. Dee da 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 dee da da. Ah la la da da dee la 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 la. Oh dee 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 da 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 dee da da dee da 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 da. Oh la la dee la 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 dee la la dee la la. I la 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 la. Oh. I'm starting to hear some really nice harmonies. Is there a choir here? I hear it. It's really, yeah, and in the Jewish tradition, it's not only the choir, but it's actually everybody who has a voice, and some of our voices are kind of finely tuned up like the strings of a harp, and some of our voices are kind of more like the sound of the shofar, like not finely tuned, right? But they're both actually, like the shofar and the harp are both considered like the most essential instruments in the tradition. They're the ones that have all of the stories, and so we each have like a role to play in bringing out the sound and bringing out the prayer. And so just don't whether you're part of the choir or not, we're all part of actually the makela, the big riva amacha, what's it called, Makalot Rivavot Amcha Beit Yisrael, like we say in the morning service, the great choirs of people who get together to offer their prayers. Does that make sense? So towards that, would you mind, I'm going to sing a little something, and will you mind just singing the last note that I sing, okay? That's so nice. Okay, and I'll do it again. And if you happen to hear harmony notes, just sing those too. Okay. Ti di da 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 la 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 la. There it is. Ti di da 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 da. Yeah. Ti da 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 da. Oh, 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 oh. Okay. Oh wow, this is so nice. It really sounds beautiful in here, and you all sound beautiful. I'm sorry we can't hear you at home, but we're sending our music towards you. And let's do it a little more, okay? Anytime, this is how each of you have the chance to join in and to offer your prayers. Yeah, and sing through the masks. Yeah. Oh, ma 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 da 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 da. Ooh. Oh, 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 oh. Di da la 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 di la la di la la di la 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 di la 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 di la 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 di 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 la di di la la di 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 la la di di la 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 da da di da da la 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 di di la 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 di di la 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 di di da 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 di da da bam bam di di da 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 dam oh oh da da di la 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 oh da di 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 la di di la la di 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 lo di 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 la 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 lo di di da 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 do di la di 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 lo di di dam ba da da di 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 da da di 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 do di di da la yeah di 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 da la da da di di da la oh di di da la la da da di da 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 la da da la lo do 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 da 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 la di 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 lo oh da da di le oh di 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 da 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 di da 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 di da 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 di di la le da lo da da di 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 da da hi la 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 oh. That's so nice. And just want to encourage also as we go here, anybody who feels like moving, it's allowed. In fact, when each of us chooses to move even a little bit, like in the traditional, like even Jewish, like shuckling like this, or to move in rhythm, like it actually allows everybody else to do it as well. So any of the brave folks who are willing to get us started, if it ends up being dancing, it's okay with me too. It's like. We'll be on page 7. And don't let, by the way, I don't know how it is here, but sometimes when we start looking at words, everybody, we can get psyched out. Always the nigun, the pure melody, is saying what the words are just trying to say. So if if today is a day where you're not into the words, you can just ay, ay, ay is actually really essential. It sometimes says it better than the words themselves. All right, page 7. Yedi nefesh avarachaman mishoavdecha eretzonecha yarutz avdecha kimo ayal yishtachave el mul hadarecha teravelo yedidutecha minofetzu vecholtam Adonai oziv haolam nafshi cholat avatecha ana el narifana no azivecha az titchazik v'titrape v'ha'isam la'simchat olam v'tiyehemu Rachamecha dechuzana al ahuvecha. Oh, kizer kama niksov niksaf lirot betiferet uzecha eile chamda o chamda libi vechusam Naviyavati talam higale uperos chaviv alayet sukat shelomecha Nagila v'nismecha vach maherahu kivamoed v'chanenu ki meolam ay da da dam da 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 dam ba ay da 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 di da da dam ba da da di da dam ba da da ya di da dam ba da ya di da dam ba da di da da la 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 ya di da la 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 ti da di la 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 da da la 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 ti da da la 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 di da di la 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 ti da da la 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 oh lo 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 ti da 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 na di da 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 ti da 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 ba da 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 ya di da da la 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 di da da la 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 ti da 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 di da da la 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 ti da di la 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 ti da da la 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 oh. Beautiful. Thank you for this beautiful song. I haven't gotten to sing with people very much for the last bunch of years, and it's really sweet. Very sweet. We'll be on page 21. I am, by the way, some of you may be wondering why I'm facing this way, but I just personally like to face in the same direction as everybody else who's davening, so that we're all kind of in the same direction, you know. I know that means that my back is to a few people sometimes, and I know that's not necessarily the tradition here. So just so you know why I'm doing that. I am listening very carefully, though, and trying to hear where everybody is. Okay. Drummers, let's pace ourselves. Okay, we have. This is something I like to think about in music, is like how to let the drums come in sometimes later so that we have a lot of room to grow. So just like especially by the end of the Chadodi, we might want to really be there, right? And then let's like make a slope that goes towards it. Yeah. Lechu niranin al Adonai, Naria litzur yishenu nikadma fanav b'todah bizmirot narialo ya gadol Adonai melech gadol and kol Elohim. Bottom of page 23. Arba'im shana kut bedor va'omar am to'e levavhem vehem lo yadu derachai asher nishbati ve'apim yevoun el menuchati. Dum bum bum ba da da dee da 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 la da da dee la dee 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 da la oh dee dee da la dee dee da dee dee da da dee dee da la da dee da 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 da. Page 25. Here we go. Shirul Adonai Shir Hadash Shirul Adonai Kol Haaretz Shirul Adonai Baruch Shemo Basru Miyom Leyom Yeshuato Sapru Vagoyim Kevodo Bechol Hamim Nifelotav Ki Gadol Adonai Umehulal Meyon Norahu Al Kol Elohim Ailai Lai Li Lai La 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 Lo Li La 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 Oh Li La Li Da 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 Di Da Da Di Di Li 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 La Da Da Di Da Di Di Da Da Di Da Da Di Da Da Di Da Oh Oh Da Da Di Li 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 La Da Da Di 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 Da Di Di Da La Di 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 Da La Lo Di Di Da Li 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 Di Di Da Da Di Da Da I lie di di da di da da. Lifnei Adonai kiva kiva lishbot haaretz yishbot tevel betzedek v'yamim be'emunato. Page 29. Adonai malach tagil haaretz yismechu yim rabim anan v'rafel seviva. Or zaru ala tzadik ul yishrei lev simcha simchu tzadikim b'Adonai v'hodu lezecher kodsho. Page 33. Mizmor shir l'Adonai shir chadash. About 5 lines down, or 6 lines down. Hariu l'Adonai kol haaretz pitzchu v'ranenu v'zameru zamru l'Adonai Bechinor Bekozimra Bachatzot Tzurot V'kol Shofar Hariu Lifnei HaMelech Adonai Yiram Hayam Umelo'o Tevel V'yoshveva Neharot Imcha Uchaf Yachad Harim Yeraneinu Lifnei Adonai Kivio Palish Haaretz Yishbo Teva B'tzedek V'yamim B'meisharim Ahai Lailai Hai Lailai La 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 Ahai Lailai La 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 Adonai Malach Yirgazu Amim, page 35, Yoshev Kerubim Tanu Taretz, Adonai B'tzion Gadol. Al Kol Ha'amim Yodoshim Chakadol V'Nara Kadosh. Hoshev Yaharon B'cho Hanawavav Ushemuel B'korei Shemo Korim El Adonai V'hu Yanem Be'amud Anan Yedaber Alehem Shamru Edotav V'chok Natan La'avamo Adonai Eloheinu Atanitam El Nosei Yisalahem V'nokei Malalilotam Romemu Adonai Eloheinu V'ishtachavu Lehar Kodsho Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. If you're able to stand, please do. Otherwise, stand however your body can. Mizmor LeDavid Havul Adonai.
Page 37.
Page 37. Havul Adonai Kavod Vaoz Havul Adonai Kevod Shemo Ishtachavu Adonai Behadras Kodesh Kol Adonai Alamayim El HaKavod Hirim Adonai Almayim Ravim Di Kol Adonai Ba Koach Lili Kol Adonai Behadar Kol Adonai Shover Arazim Vaishaber Adonai Vayakidim Kemo Egelevanon Vesirion Kemo Venremi Ailai Kol Adonai Hotzev Lavodish Kol Adonai Yachil Midbar Yachil Adonai Bamidbar Kadesh Kol Adonai Yechol El Hayalot Vayechesov Hayarot Uvhechalo Kulo Merkavot Alililili Kol Adonai Adonai Melech Leolam Adonai Oz Le'amo Yitein Adonai Yivarech Et Amo Bashalom Ambalaramba Hayda Didambam Dida Lilililililililila Hadidididililililila La 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 oh la 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 bam bam da dam ba da dam bam ba di da di la di da bam la la di li la 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 di li la 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 dam bam 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 oh da dam di dam bam 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 I da di da 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 dum oh. I was thinking as I was reading, as I was singing along with you all, that this there's all these voices of God that we just sang about. Kol Adonai, the voice of God. It says it's bakoach, it's strong, and it breaks the cedars of Lebanon, and that's Shover Arzim, and it's like it makes mountains dance, and it does all of these things. It's super loud and super powerful. And they say that that first we hear that loud, powerful voice, and then we're able to get quiet and hear the still, small voice, right? So it's like the sound of the shofar comes along and it blasts us out, so we can, just loud and voracious. It kind of takes us out of our parv existence, right? And then. But then the still small voice is the quiet that comes after the singing. And you'll see that the better we sing, the rich the quiet will be afterwards. And I guess that's what I'm really listening for. It's like, did we get the quiet yet? It doesn't even mean it has to be totally quiet in the room. We'll feel a sense of focus after we sing. Let's see if we get it after L'chadodi. Okay. All right, page 41. I think we should go for all of it. No? Toss the pages, okay. All right, cool. Lechadodi likat kala Pene Shabbat anekam bela Lechadodi likat kala Pene Shabbat anekam bela Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad hishmiyanu el ameyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad Hashem u'tiferet v'litila lechadodi likas kala Pene Shabbat nekambela likat Shabbat lechu enecha ki mekor haberavacha merosh mikedem ניסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה. Page 45. התעוררי כי באורך קומי אורי אורי שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה ימין ושמאל תפרוצי ואת אדוני תריצי על יד מיש בין פרצי ונשמחה ונגילה לך
You ride in spirit or in body. Face the entrance to our shul, to our homes, our dens, all the spaces where we are.
Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam b'simcha u'v'tzala toch emunei Am segula boi chala lecha dodi likat kala pene Shabbat nekabela adadai la 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 I la ri ri da 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 ti la 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 ri ri la 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 ti am bam 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 ba da da ti am ba ba dam bam bam ti la 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 dam bam bam ba da da dam bam bam ba da 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 I la la ri la la di dam bam di da da dam bam I la 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 dam ba di da la 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 di da 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 I la li la li 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 la la I la 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 na 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 I la la li la la di da 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 Mizmor shir liyom haShabbat tov leodol Adonai ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. Page 49. Lehagid baboker chasdecha ve'emunatcha baleilot ale asor v'ale navel ale higayon bechinor Ki simchtani Adonai befoalecha b'maseh yadecha aranein Magadlu masecha Adonai meodam ku machshivotecha Tzadik katamar Yifrach keres bavanon yiskeshetuli bebeit Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu Yafrichu od yenuvun veseva deshenim verananim yiu hagid ki yashar Adonai tsuri velo avlatabo Adonai malach geil lavesh Adonai osita zati konteva batimo Od ma'im rabim adirim ishperayam adibam arom Adonai edotecha nemnu me'od levedcha nava kodesh Adonai leorech yamim
Together throughout this weekend, throughout this Shabbat. We turn to page 57 as we rise in spirit or in body for the Baruch Hu. As we bless the source of life, so we are blessed. As we bless the source of life, so we are blessed, and the blessing gives us strength and makes our vision clear, and the blessing gives us peace and the courage to dare as we bless the source of life. So we are blessed, Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam. And we can be seated. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro mariv aravim bechokma poteach she'arim ubidvuna mishanei itim. I'll leave that to my Baruch Hu rolls into this bracha of the evening, Mariv Aravim. Look around us, upon that screen, the person next to us, the people in front of us, behind us. We notice how we have come together as a community. Baruch Hu, for this Shabbat, to roll time into next, as we have rolled and unrolled in so many ways this year. Masks rolling on and off of our faces, rolling back and forth into and out of workplaces and into and out of this place. Watching the seasons roll into one another. Last weekend with its snow squalls, or earlier this week with snow squalls coming off of 71-degree days and now rolling maybe back into spring. And as we look outside these amazing giant glass windows and out the windows of our homes as well, at least those of us that are in this time zone, I don't know, Manny, down in Florida, even though you're in the same time zone, you're probably still broad daylight. He's further south and further east. Further west? It's hard to know. West and south, so much brighter, but at least here, up the 309 corridor, it's, in that liminal moment between one day and the next, between the day and the night. So I want to invite us to take a second and notice who's around us in this community. If you're online tonight, if you can take a second and just shout out in the chat who's with you in that room and where you're joining us from. If there's someone around you who you don't know or whose name you don't remember, even though you've seen them 8 million times, but maybe it was 2 years ago or 5 years ago or 6 months ago and you just don't remember and it's killing you that you just don't remember, reintroduce yourself and like say Shabbat Shalom. Just take a second. Because I am right now declaring 12 months of name amnesty at Or Hadash. If you do not remember someone's name, it's okay. We're going to be reintroducing ourselves a lot. Okay. And as we turn to this chatima, this ending to this bracha, ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המריב הרבים. What we roll into is that ahavat olam, that eternal love that comes from all the smiling faces, from community. What? Comes from a small person? I get you. Tani's going to lead us in Ahavat Olam. No. We're going to actually read, where am I? Where did it go? Oh, page 61 we're going to read together. Tani can't read in English, so you're going to have to help him. We are loved by an unending love. We are embraced by arms that find us even when we are hidden from ourselves. We are touched by fingers that soothe us even when we are too proud for soothing. Counseled by voices that guide us even when we are too embittered to hear. We are an unending love. Here you go, Joey. We are supported by hands that uplift us even in the midst of a fall. We are urged on by eyes that meet us even when we are too weak for meeting. We are loved by an unending love. Embraced, touched, soothed, and counseled. Ours are the arms, the fingers, the voices. Ours are the hands, the eyes, the smiles. We are loved by an unending love. Blessed are you, beloved one, who loves your people. Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Page 65, the Shema. Shema Yisrael. Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך, ובישעריך. We take a few minutes in silence to continue with the rest of the Ve'ahavta, one of the two biblical selections that follows. V'haya im shemot yishmu mitzvotai shenochi mitzavcha temai. It's page 77. Umatzon kiblu alehem Moshe uMiriam uvnei Yisrael שירה בשמחה רבה ואמרו כולם מי כמוך page 79 מי כמוך מי כמוך מי כמוך מי כמוך בהלים אדוני מי כמוך מי כמוך מי כמוך מי כמוך מי כמוך מי כמוך נהדר בקודש נורא תהילות עושה ולנורא תהילות עושה ולמלכותך ראובנך בוקי הים לפני משה זה אלי אנו ואמרו נמלוך לעולם ועד אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד איי 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 na 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 hoy ay 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 na 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 ay 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 na 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 ay and ay ay na na ay na na ay na na ya na ay 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 na na ya na ay na ya na ונאמר כי ודע אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל page 81 transliterated on the following page 83 השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום ועמידנו מלכנו לחיים פרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ודאגנו ויצא טובה מלכנך us going forth our life and peace now and always. ושמור צאתנו בואנו לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ברוך אתה אדוני הבורא סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ועל ירושלים. We rise in spirit or in body on page 85 for ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם אותי לעולם אותי לעולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. Page 88. Standing here in Abraham's desert, affirming one God, moving in the old spaces warmed by our ancestors' embrace, standing here in Sarah's tent, laughing, new life, moving in the old spaces, renewed by our ancestors' hope, standing here in my place, listening to our voices, yearning, moving in my own spaces, translating the silence. Move into the Amidah on page 91, silent for the evening as we enter the heart of our prayer on Shabbat at our own pace and in our own way. Adonai sifatai tifta. Shalom, 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 shalom. Having this conundrum also about which direction I should be facing. I think that I've now led about 2/3 of Mariv from that side of this Amud, and I think I'm going to lead the last third from this side of this Amud, because, and I'm sorry now to all, no, but it's okay, because, no, it works, because even the people on the screen have been sitting on this side of the room also, so it totally works. I'm going to need my Siddur on this side also. Oh, hi, these faces. Nice to see these Oh, as we come back together from our silent Amidah, we emerge, I need that one too, into our Mishaberach L'cholim, our prayer for healing and wholeness. One of the things that I love about music, and especially communal singing, and as we thought about who to bring for Scholar in Residence this year, it just became more and more and more amazing that we had gone with inviting Joey Weisenberg to join us, because I don't know if you guys are like me, but one of the things I have missed the most in these 2 years and counting of the pandemic has been communal singing. Right? When we're davening in our living rooms, we only hear at most like the voices of the people in our room plus the person who's leading. We can't harmonize with ourselves. We can't blend with ourselves. We can't take that breath and come out of singing and just daven with our ears, with ourselves. So as we move into our Mishaberach L'cholim, our prayer for healing and wholeness, I want to hold the healing of the brokenness that these 2 years without singing, without making music in orchestras together, without offering songs to one another in unison, but rather in outlets for, right? We've all sung Happy Birthday over Zoom now at least 2 or 3 times to our most beloveds, and probably still will for quite some time, on and off. Here on the Scholar in Residence weekend, here we are in this little oasis. Perhaps it's this moment of the beginning of coming back together more fully. Perhaps it's in truly an oasis as we learn how to live with this virus in community. And how beautiful it is to raise up our voices together. And as we offer our Mishaberach L'cholim, I want to offer that. I want to invite everyone to offer that blessing of healing to the brokenness in one another. That thing that music comes to heal. When we hear our voice in conversation, in dialogue, in harmony, in dissonance with one another. And so, this is your cue, people in the chat. This is your cue, people who are thinking of people. This is my cue with the Mishaberach list here, that between the 2 verses of our prayer and song, we're going to name the names of all those whom we're thinking of for healing in all of those concentric circles of community, so that we can call them all to our hearts and our minds and our chicken soup pots and our telephones and our just giving a quick wave to say hellos. Because this is a moment of building community through thinking of others. The words of our Mishaberach, I think, are like in the back, like on the back cover inside for those who need. Mishaberach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us, amen. This week we're thinking of and sending our hopes and our energy for healing and wholeness to Andrea Abrams-Herbert, James Alberts, Fran Anderson, Roberta Archibald, Arden Bell, Barry Bell, Carol Mueller-Bell, Rabbi Deborah Bowen, Robin Kupo, Frankie Deaver, Faye Fishman, Marcy Fish, Joan Flaherty, Rhoda Gansler, Eric Gershman, Jonathan Giannini, Cordula Hamish, Chava Hurley, Sharon Cass, Moss Kaufman, Beverly and Howard Kaufman, Fran Kaufman, Richard Krasin, Joy Layden, Robert Mueller, Toby Mackler, Anthony Nero, Lisa Nicholson, Jennifer Riley and Thomas Pablo, Stan Pollock, Abby Rosenberg, Mike Rosenberg, Shelley Sanders, Bertha Schwartz, Marlene Sortino, Lloyd Suter, Howard Temple, Lynn Van Engel, Brandy Wasliewski, Stan Weckstein, Millie Weissman, Grace Zangwell, Eileen Zeff, Sidria Quate, Rob Johnson, Doug Proudman, Marissa Goldman, Fran and Damon Solomon, Craig Hyman, Nancy Hyman, Joy Sniecki, Tzvi Aryeh, Ben Gloria, Refuah Shlema to, oh gosh, I can't read it. Oh, thank you, nice and loud. Thank you, and also
Peter Maggio.
Dorothy Berlin. Misha Behera Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say amen. And Kiddush. So we're going to rise in body and spirit for Kiddush on page 119. And if you are a member of the Spiritual Life Committee, I want to call you up to do some Kiddush with us. Lot of incredible dedication, work, and passion to plan a Scholar in Residence weekend, and how much more so with all of the unknowns that have unfolded over the last planning year. So, if you feel most comfortable, please rise in your places. If you feel comfortable, yep, perfect. Rise in spirit or in body in your places, and Spiritual Life Committee folks, come on forward to lead us in Kiddush. Oh, I'm going to hand it to our co-chair. On page 119. I can help with some words assist. Celebrating something that we can raise up our glass and I am Jew. Please just shout it on out or type it into a chat somewhere so that we can.
Avrei Chavarai, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Borei Pri Hagafen. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu. B'Shabbat kachal b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, Zikara l'maaseh v'reshit, Yom Tehila Mikra Kodesh Zecher L'Tziat Mitzrayim Kielenu Karata V'yotanu Kidashach L'avodatecha V'shabbat Kadecha V'ava Uratzon Hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat L'chaim.
כתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו We can be seated. So as we turn to page 131 for Mourner's Kaddish, we turn in our hearts and in our memories to those whom we've loved and lost. This morning, we marked the passing of Elsie Lieberstein, mother of Steve Lieberstein, mother-in-law of Sandy Saul. We're not yet saying Kaddish for her. Her funeral will be on Monday at 11 a.m. Information went out just before Shabbat. But yeah, her funeral will be on Monday at 11 a.m. at Goldstein's on Broad, and Shiva on Monday and Tuesday nights with a minyan at 7, with the ability to come to minyan either on site or on Zoom, both of those nights. We're also in a period of Shloshim, the month following the passing of Stuart Handelsman, cousin of Eileen Cooper Smith, Paul Quate, and Sidria Quate, and Shloshim for Anna Wolk, mother of Julie Wolk Jacobson, who passed away earlier this month, mother-in-law of Peter Jacobson. And this week we also mark the Yortzites, the anniversaries of the passing of Manny Margolis, uncle of Marty Jacobs, Lillian Zubo, mother of Rick Zubo, Ellen Gray Whipple, sister of Debbie Lamb, Michael Elfman, nephew of Betty Kahn, Esther Malkin, mother of Rich Malkin, Arabelle Kapnick, mother of Shelley Rosenberg, Rose Lieberman, mother of Edith Lane, and Margaret Lamb, mother of Debbie Lamb. If anyone else is remembering anyone, Shabbat or saying Kaddish for anyone, I want to invite you to share their names. Yeah. Doris Vine. Andrea. Kaddish for and the people of Ukraine. Suzanne Mitica. And can you say your name louder, Andrea? Bert Manishkin. Arise in spirit or in body, along with all of those who 131. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbi. Be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach leolam u'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yithalal shemei dekudsha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mromav Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru. Amen zichronam livracha. May their memories be a blessing for all of us. You can be seated. Shabbat shalom. So, before we do this thing that we used to do, which is saying hamotzi at the end of services, and I think we're going to say hamotzi and then bring the whole challah in there so that we can slice it and then eat our challah in there so that we're not all ripping from the same. Yeah, we're still figuring out how the challah works. But I just want to make a couple of quick announcements. First of all, a big yesher koach to, okay, so let's go in this direction. To Josh McHugh, who has been for Josh on the tech tonight, yesher koach. And to, if you were a greeter tonight, raise your hand. Phil and Penny and Barry Mitica and Pat Steinberg, who were greeters tonight. I want to give a big yesher koach to everyone on the entire Spiritual Life Committee who worked to make this weekend possible. I want to welcome Joey Weisenberg to Or Hadash. Will be joining us all weekend. Tomorrow morning, we get to sleep in. We are flipping the schedule. Services begin at 10 a.m. They will be followed by a bagel brunch, extended kiddish brunchy lunch, which will then be followed by Torah study. Joey is going to be co-leading the service with me tomorrow and also teaching Torah study. He'll be teaching us about the Torah of music. And Joey, do you want to say a couple of words about what to expect tomorrow during Torah study, or did that do it justice? Yeah. Here, have one of these. Just
Studying the dreamscape of the sages, how they dreamed about music in the Jewish tradition. Yeah.
Beautiful. Joey, don't get ready to stop giving us descriptions, because after Oneg tonight, those who wish, and everyone is invited, and I hope everyone will stay, because we are going to do some singing in some singing circles. And Joey, tell us about what to expect after Oneg today.
Well, we'll come back in here, I believe.
Either in here, or if people want, we can do it outside on the porch.
We'll find out.
Maybe we'll come back.
Yeah, and then we'll just we'll get quiet together and sing some beautiful melodies and just listen to the harmonies that come from all of us. And I can't wait for that, actually. It's so beautiful tonight. Wow.
And so a couple of logistics for, actually, let me do some quick announcements and then logistics for Oneg. So a couple of brief announcements. Next Shabbat is different. Next Shabbat, because you might have noticed that today is in fact the first Friday of the month. And you may have noticed that we did not have Tot Shabbat in our First Friday family service. That's going to be next week. It's a little April Fool's Day joke that we're playing on Or Hadash here. So next week we're pretending is First Friday, and it's our three-part harmony family service, Tot Shabbat at 6, dinner inside, outside, as you feel most comfortable at 6:30, and then family service at like 7:05, 7:15. And then Saturday morning is Shabbat B'Yachad. But it is not Shabbat B'Yachad here in the building. It is Shabbat B'Yachad that is a Shabbat hike. So there will be Torah study at 9. Look in HaKesher and all kinds of email communications for where we are meeting up. I do not have it written down in front of me. I will actually add the location to announcements for tomorrow morning, but we are going to be coming together for Torah study at 9 a.m. and then at 10 a.m. doing an interactive, intergenerational Shabbat hiking experience led by Mora Barbara and myself. It is going to be awesome. If you went to last year's Shabbat B'Yachad in the spring that we did in the Wissahickon, leaving from Bluebell Hill Park, it is going to be fairly similar to that, but with a Pesach angle. And Mora Barbara also wants to give everyone a little, a hint that it will also have a chocolate Seder / candy Shabbat bend to it. I don't know if that sweetens the deal for anyone. Good for all ages and stages. And also, if you have questions about accessibility and the trail, please be in touch with Barbara. She can let you know about the accessibility of the area. The following week is Pesach. Believe it or not. Friday night is Seder, so Friday night is no services at Or Hadash. Shabbat morning there will be a lovely lay-led service here at Or Hadash. And then the following Shabbat that leads us out of Pesach, Friday night services as usual, to celebrate the end of Pesach, the day after Pesach, which is Saturday, will be a Shabbat in the park. We are going to be back at Robbins Park. We are going to be in that lovely, pagoda, what is that called? Pavilion. Pavilion, not pagoda, thank you. That lovely pavilion for Torah study. Then we're going to be in that lovely wooded area for services. It is going to have an Earth Day bend as our Social Action Tikkun Olam Committee and our Spiritual Life Committee are joining forces for an Earth Day Shabbat in the park. It's going to be lovely and awesome. And I really hope that we can really enjoy all of the opportunities to be outdoors together this spring. I don't know about you, but nature and the rhythms of the spring and just the openings, I feel like these last few years, I've really been gaining a greater appreciation for the ways in which, the outdoors and the outdoor spaces in nature and the rhythms of the seasons really help pace us through the year. So I'm really excited that April is bringing us so much outdoors and the opportunity to be together on Shabbat outdoors. With Pesach coming up, the JRA is very low on volunteers for their packing and meal distribution, supply distribution the Sunday before Passover. If you are one of those people who loves to volunteer at the JRA, or one of those people who says, I really wish that I was at the JRA more often, it really seems like a great mitzvah to do, the pre-Passover one is a really good one to sign up for. Please do that. They just sent out an email today saying that they're really volunteer light moving towards Passover. So, Oneg, which is the next thing that we are doing. It is in the community room, but we are also going to open the community room doors, and you will notice that there are both chairs on the patio, the covered patio, and chairs on this side patio for an indoor-outdoor oneg as you are comfortable. Masks are worn at all times in the sanctuary at Or Hadash and in all spaces at Or Hadash except while eating. If you are, so please do the thing that makes you most comfortable in terms of eating during oneg and indoors and outdoors. And please know also that when you are going up to a table with food, we ask that you put your mask back on while serving yourself. So imagine that there is a little mask up zone within a 6-foot radius of every table that has food on it. So that we can all together have a really wonderful Kiddush where everyone feels safe and comfortable and together. And we are all navigating these boundaries together. And we've never done it before. So if you have thoughts and feedback and ideas and best practices, please be in touch with Phil or with any member of our COVID task force. Raise your hand if you're on the COVID task force and you're in this room right now. There's a lot of us in here right now. If you have thoughts about reopening, COVID procedures, COVID policies, anything, questions, please be in touch with one of us or with someone else on the task force. Because guess what? We've never done this before either. And so we really want to work together as a whole community to figure this out together. So before we officially say Shabbat Shalom and we eat some foods, Joey, will you lead us in that nigun one more time, and then I will do some, and then we'll break some bread. Okay, we are going to metaphorically braid ourselves together. So if you are comfortable and the person who you're touching is comfortable, I want to invite you to touch someone who's touching someone who's touching someone who will, in the front row, extend themselves towards the challah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz Te'avon. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Kiddush. I feel like I've waited 2 years to say this. Kiddush is in the community room. And then singing is back in here. Yay. Shabbat Shalom, everybody who's on this screen. Hello. Hey, Harriet. Hey, Paul. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
See you guys
Shabbat
tomorrow
Shalom.
morning. Shabbat Shalom.